One of the objections that our opponents have raised is saying that this court is moot because, of course, the woman is no longer pregnant.
One other point, the Supreme Court made a ruling. It's irrelevant from any practical impact because the zone that they were talking about has already been moot.
This court is moot.
It expired last week.
The woman is no longer pregnant.
The lawsuit was about the Brooklyn zone. The Brooklyn zone no longer exists as a red zone.
The woman is no longer pregnant.
Right, that's mooted. So that restriction is not in effect.
No longer pregnant.
That's why the whole case was moot. That's what was irregular about the Supreme Court taking it up, since the situation presented no longer exists.
One of the objections that our opponents have raised is saying that this court is moot because, of course, the woman is no longer pregnant.
Because we changed that zone designation last week or the week before.
Of course, the woman is no longer pregnant.
But on the current rules, so that zone doesn't exist. That situation just doesn't exist.
No longer pregnant.
Because those restrictions are gone.
Because, of course, the woman is no longer pregnant.
I think, Dave, the basic point is, why does the court rule on an issue that is moot?
One of the objections that our opponents have raised is saying that this court is moot.
Which is pointless because it's no longer a red zone, so we don't have any desire to enforce red zone restrictions in Brooklyn since it's no longer a red zone.
Because, of course, the woman is no longer pregnant.
Why rule on a case that is moot?
Moot.
So if you say that, why won't you say that about Roe v. Wade, a case that the court's controlling opinion in that Planned Parenthood v. Casey case has described as a super precedent? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Unless, which they had just decided several months before and come up with a different decision than you did several months ago on the same issue in other cases, because there were other cases.
If a question comes up before me about whether Casey or any other case should be overruled, that I will follow the law of stare decisis, applying it as the court has articulated it, applying all the factors, reliance, workability, being undermined by later facts and law, just all the standard factors. And I promise to do that for any issue that comes up, abortion or anything else. I'll follow the law.
I think that Supreme Court ruling on the religious gatherings is more illustrative of the Supreme Court than anything else. So I think this was really just an opportunity for the court to express its philosophy and politics.
I'm just here to apply the law and adhere to the rule of law.
And I think that was the statement that the court was making. I mean, we know who he appointed to the court. We know their ideology.
I am 100% committed to judicial independence from political pressure. So whatever people's, party platforms may be or campaign promises may be, the reason why judges have life tenure is to insulate them from those pressures.
You have a different court. So I would agree with those people who say it's a different court, and they wanted to make the statement that it's a different court. And that's the statement they're making. I understand that. And that's to be expected.